the country closest to the moon with zero latitude. It is a country where latitude is 0 and is closest to the moon and sun. This lies exactly in the center of Earth. Not Mount Everest, but a peak in a nation where a lot of strange physics occurs. What location is this? What takes place there? And, how are you able to get so close to the moon? It is one of the most interesting countries filled with full of fun and mysteries. Welcome to Ecuador. South America's Ecuador is home to amazing people, unexplored landscapes, and adventurous activities. However, this location, like this one, also has some bizarre physics happening to it. Encompassing around 79% of the planet's water and 21% of its land, the equator crosses 14 nations on its way around the globe. Even though the equator crosses across several nations, none of them appear to be as proud of their special location in the middle of the world or the Earth's bulge. Now, the following may sound dramatic, but it's meant to illustrate a point regarding physics. Tourists stumble and fall as they attempt to walk on this 0-degree latitude equator line. When they pour water down the sink, it stops spinning, and does not spin to the left or right. In fact, one doesn't need a watch here as one can know the time merely by glancing at the sun. But why is this so? It's all because of this line. This line, known as the equator, divides the world into equal portions in the north and the south. And guess what? In Spanish, Ecuador signifies the equator. Gravity is weaker in the equator because of a strong force that pushes out when the Earth rotates. Because of this, Mount Chimborazo, while not the highest summit on Earth, offers an exceptionally close-up view of the moon. It is the closest point on Earth to the moon. Ecuador has the second highest capital in the world because of the Earth's elevation near the equator. Ecuador's 0 latitude is distinguished geographically by its great elevation in the Andes. Situated immediately north of Quito, the monument to 0 latitude is 1,74 miles or 9,861 feet above sea level. Ecuador's small area of 98,990 square miles, or roughly the size of the state of Colorado, is home to a great deal of individuality. The top of Mount Chimborazo, 20,548 feet, is the point on the Earth closest to the Sun as well, partly because of the country's location high in the Andes Mountains and straddling the equator. It is the tallest point on Earth, measuring outward from the Earth's center. This is just one more geographical feature of Ecuador that instills a sense of pride in its people. But because you're so near to the sun, living up here is not an easy existence. There is less oxygen and less air that far up, making sunburns quite easy to obtain. Thus, breathing is more difficult, there is less oxygen in the air, batteries drain more quickly, and automobiles move more slowly. Ecuador is more than simply mountains, it also has islands. The Galapagos Islands are among the world's untouched islands, and you may spend 3 days on a boat traveling to the center of the ocean to see them. More than 9,000 different species may be found there, including the world's biggest tortoise, penguins, wild marine iguanas, and mingling sea lions. The species that dwell in the Galapagos Islands are unique, they are the first UNESCO heritage site ever, and they are not found anywhere else in the world. And the people that live around them are also fascinating, such as this guy, Medico. He had a shattered existence from the moment of his birth until he made the decision to turn things around. He became fit, learned to read, gave up drinking, and changed his diet at the age of 52. He made the decision to fix up his home, the Galapagos Islands, at the age of 52. He went to the street with a bag and began gathering cigarette butts. He continued to pick up cigarette butts until he had 1,000,000 broken ones, at which point he created an exquisite work of art. Not only him, but there is another woman, who lives her life in a way no one could think of. Gilda lives totally in the dark on the Galapagos Islands with no power, litter, or waste. In the entire span of 3 years, she has only collected a handful of waste. When it rains, she gathers water, and she collects salt from the seashore. She leads a sustainable life to this extent. Truly, Ecuador is a great destination in terms of people, nature, and science.